Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Forte Space. I am your host, Andisiwa Mampengo, with 4 candidates from 4 different organizations from within the institutions. I am going to let them introduce themselves in a while. This podcast today is all about getting to know who they are, why they're running for the SRC, and what are they bringing to the tables. As you can see behind me, they are here all ready to be interviewed. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Andisiwa Mampengo, but as you know, you can call me Andy. I am not alone. I am with the Ghost Lady of the podcast. We have 4 individual guests from 4 different organizations joining us today. I'm going to give them a moment to introduce themselves, but first, let the Ghost Lady introduce herself.
Thank you, Andy. As you know, we have the ghost with the host of the most. Today we are joined by SASCO, EFFSC, which is the YBM, and PASMA. Gentlemen, I'll start with you, Budwe SASCO, to introduce yourself and tell us what was your organization.
All right. No, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Xolisa Makubalo. I am the branch secretary of SASCO in Alice, and I'm also a representative of SASCO institutionally. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nangamsom Songelo, but you can call me Soso. By the way, Fighter Soso. I represent the Economic Freedom Fighters Student Command in the University of Forte. I'm also a Ward 11 branch secretary. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Asonele Makwakaza. I'm well known as Mr. Obvious. I'm here to represent the only BMW, which is YBM, the young, brightest, motivated minds. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Sandy Somzendana. I am here to represent PASMA, which is Pan-African Student Movement of Azania. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for introducing yourselves. But hey, man, you seem tense. So, as a tradition, we're going to play some icebreaker games. Your ghost lady is going to tell you what we are going to do from now on.
I mean, God, everything ngumsebenzi obandifaka abantu on the spot. But basically, this is on ubuza nje imibuzo nje ukuba nithethe igazi before we get to the whole politic thing, yabo. Jeez, kesi ngibuza ba ubani Budwe SASCO yajola, Budwe PASMA.
Yes, personal.
I must experience must zibukele zifuna unazi. So, if okay, ngibuza nje simple oba if a political party yayi music genre ingaye yiphi and why? Anyone can answer that.
Is YBM jazz or piano or what? That's the big question, basically. Which genre is your political organization?
Hey, this question, you want to go? You can go.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question? I didn't hear the question clearly.
The question was, if your political organization was a music genre, which one would it be and why? You have R&B, pop, jazz, hip hop.
Oh, thank you very much. As we all know that Africa, they love to sing very much. They have inspiring songs that can grab attention of the students to come and join the organization. I think the only kind of type of music that we can choose as the organization is the gospel, because we as PASMA we do understand that the term gospel is not associated to the religion or church. Gospel is someone who's running to who's sending information or message to the citizens and liberating the citizens under the colonial system, which is suppressing our students. Yes. Otherwise, to add more to that, reason being I chose gospel is that gospel, as I said, that is not associated, the term gospel is not associated to religion. The term gospel is associated to someone who's the messenger of the message to the society. As we, as the organization of PASMA, we are committed to deliver student services and to deliver the needs of the students. Yes. For example, students are trying each and every time.
I just asked you a simple question. I guess it was cut some ball,
Second, that's fine. For us as EFFSC, everyone knows we're a radical movement. So I would associate ourselves with Amapiano. One thing about Amapiano, they're so loud. Most people, they play them a groove and all that. But they are also healing. So you would see people when they're having fun on those places, indulging in a revolutionary drinks and so forth, you see them crying, some of them. Not because they are crying, but because of the sound of the music. So one thing about EFFSC, we are like that. When you see us there, we hope, we healing. So thank you.
EFFSC, why being your jazz? Because my little birdie told me that you all have a jazz album.
Yes, we have a jazz album, but our jazz, it's a mixture. So we have Amakwijo, we have those songs that are traditional, and also we have our own people who produce their own songs. So it's a mixture though. Yeah.
Mr. Obvious, are you going? Should I go? All right. No, for SASCO, I'll probably associate it with jazz. Ne? Reason being, SASCO has been in existence for more than 30 years. So usually people who listen to jazz are some kind of the older generation. Quiet, listen to music, enjoy whatever you are doing. So I would associate SASCO with that, because mostly it's people that are at least matured. But I'm not saying other people are not matured, but I'm trying to say, yeah. I'm sure you get the point, but yeah, I would associate with the jazz, definitely SASCO.
The BMW. All right, thank you. I would just associate ours with the Dome. Why Dome? Because Dome is one of the genres that can accommodate everyone. Even if you are a piano person, even if you are a jazz person, even if you are a deep house person, but there's time, even a groove, to realize that now I'm in groove. There's time to realize that now I have to vibe. And when Dome comes up, even if your audience bilele, it goes up. So it's the BMW. Thank you so much.
Now I have one question, and this question only needs you to just say one answer. If your political organization were a type of vehicle, which vehicle would it be and why?
BMW. BMW ikusheshe labafundi siyagibela siyahamba.
Okay.
Yes.
PASMA, which vehicle would you be?
It's Benz, because Benz is unique, have its features that are unique, attracting features. So it's attractive. Thank you.
I win. SASCO?
VW Volkswagen, because of it's an old car brand. So as I said, SASCO has been in existence for a long time, so it's associated with that. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm afraid that will be similar with the son of the soil, which is it's Mercedes-Benz. One thing about Mercedes-Benz, it's so attractive to a point that it attracts even young people, old people, different people. Even in the near future, it's still going to be attractive. So it's the future, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yabona uba ndinibuze ngee-political parties zenu akhe ndinibuze ngani ke ngoku and ndicela ndiphendule xana PASMA ngehlobo endihleli ngalo ndizogqibela phuma kwi-SASCO. How many times have you bunked i-class to attend a non-academic event? Thetha ngawe ke ngoku Khesona.
Please repeat the question. How many?
How many times have you bunked the class for a non-academic event?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the question.
I just need the number.
Oh,
I just need the number.
hey, I don't know. I think it's a numerous numbers. It can be maybe 5 or 6. Yeah.
Leadership.
Right. I think approximately 8 times this year.
This year alone.
Yes. This year alone.
Siyabanga, siyapasa.
Yeah. And yes, yeah, pass. Yes.
For me, I don't be lying if I say I once bugged. For me. Because one thing about EFF Student Command, we prioritize academics. So if I start to fail, it means then I'll be kicked out. So I cannot compromise my books. They know immediately I say, I have a test tomorrow, I have a class, then that's it.
No, I'd probably go with 5 or 6 times. Yeah, I think that's the number that I've bunked in terms of classes. Yeah.
Leadership ebhankayo.
No, we have to.
Siyabanga, guys. It's no secret. I bank daily and again. We bank, we pass, we move on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It happens. It happens.
That's what the postgraduates.
It happens.
My following question is, how many times have you done something with the idea that your political party will talk your way through?
Okay, no, command. Umbutho wam asondiphethe. Okamba nge-EFF ndiyekele ke ngoku izandithethela xa ndinzile. Like wenze something yazi bana ngaba i-SASCO. Yandiyeka. What's why?
That's a very difficult one because usually when you become an activist, you are associated with all kinds of risks. So once you decide to take a risk, then there's not much a political organization can do because remember the responsibility is upon yourself. So on my side, I would say it depends on the individual. Really nothing to do with the organization. That's my honest opinion. Like there's no situation whereby I find myself in then SASCO has to take me out of it because when you become an activist, you have a responsibility to play. So on my side, nothing. Yeah.
Okay, for me, if I can still recall, I think it's 2 times. The first one, it was around last year, March, when we had our shutdown. You know, I had to take the risk and go out from the campus to OSPA and make sure that they close, they don't operate. And I knew the risk that, hey, I might get arrested here, but the organization would have to answer anyways because the mandate was clear that we have to close everything. So that was the first time. And then for the second time, I think I took the risk when some, people were attacking our organization there on Forte page. And then I was like, but this person is lying, Mara. And I cannot just let it go like that while at least I saw it. So I said, hey, Fondin, I call it, and I knew this person will respond back. So the only way for me to be on the safe side is to take the risk, but I know fighters will never let it slide away. So yeah.
Yeah, all right. I think my case is a bit different from yours because first of all, I'm not political, right? Even my society is not even a political organization, and now that is still a new thing that is developing. So far, I've never done anything with hope that my colleagues will cover me, especially maybe a negative or what thing. The only thing that I'm sure about is that I make sure wherever I go, whenever I get a chance, whenever I see that this might be a great platform, I just preach the idea behind our society, and that's what I believe, that back to my society, it will just be a compliment, because that's what we believe in. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, in PASMA, we promote discipline. We promote discipline as a principle. So we do believe that if a leader did something that is wrong, he have to admit, not to justify, firstly. I think there was a mistake that I did in 2021. There was a meeting. I was studying. I was in East London at that time, and I attended a meeting. I was drunk. Therefore, I apologized to the comrades that I will never ever again attending meeting whereas I'm drunk. To such extent, as I'm speaking, I decided to graduate with cum laude with alcohol, in alcohol. So I'm not drinking it anymore now. Thank you.
If I can ask you something, is that did you realize this is a more deadly guys, but your political something.
No, as far as not. Ask personal questions. Maybe
Personal
they will
questions.
loosen
Yeah.
up.
Okay. I have one personal question
Yeah.
for all of you. Ujola nobani? Nobani.
No.
Pick a camera
All right. No, I'm not afraid of some things, ne? And I'm not even afraid to mention my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. I'm in a relationship. Her name is Lilita Vagalisa. Yes.
Yes, Lilita.
Yes.
Oh wow. Hello, Lilita.
It's your time.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm in a serious relationship
Yeah.
with my Rose.
Yes.
I named her a Rose because we have to take care of the female. We have to take care in whatever situation. We must treat the female as the rose. We need to plant the rose. We need to pour water. Yeah, rose so that zizokhula zigane zibenhle. So in the name, I'm dating with Chulumanco Sibenye.
Can I call you Rose?
The blue couch.
Nijola nobani? Labatopsi.
For me, I and Dizzy. Thank you.
No, I we know we're politicians at the end of the day, so we can't reveal such information in a public forum.
Why you being alive?
No, but I'm not. My girlfriend is there, good fighters. No, but she's there, good fighters. No, I can't.
Fighter.
No, in fact, now she moved from fighter to BMW, so I can't expose who. Because we have a PW here. We have a PW, yeah, so I can't expose the name for various reasons. So for various reasons, yeah, but no, she's there, good BMW.
Pick up BMW live session. I think I'm aba bantu layo ke ofighter sesindile. So, camera 1 already. Camera 2, camera 3. Have you guys ever cheated before?
Current or previously?
Apha ebomini nje bakho bomjobo.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have. I have cheated multiple times. No, it's part of growth. It's part of growth. You see, we have to be honest. But now we're in a better place because we grow through experience. You understand? So, no, not with this one that I'm dating. But previously I've cheated, so I'm not going to deny it. No?
Okay, let me be honest. Yes, I once cheated, and it ended very bad. Tabani clash, so yeah.
All right, yeah, hey. I have cheated before. Several times. But then I believe that it was a part of my growth. Because through it, I realized that, it's not perfect for someone who knows what they want. Hence, the one and the only current girlfriend I have is the only egg that I can never break. Yes.
Yeah, this question is not difficult. It's a realistic question. I cheated before, whereby I was in East London studying on that side. To such extent, that one, if she was even willing to commit suicide. I'm kidding. Hey, I'm just kidding. Otherwise, after that, we sat down and we resolved the issue. Then I've told her, no, I think you have to go your way and I have to go my way, so that in order to maintain a peace of mind, so that you cannot be stressed by them jolo things, on the very same time you are stressed by the academical things. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to give each and every single one of you approximately 3 minutes each to tell us why you're here, to tell us what you're representing, to tell us about the organization, to be specific.
Casting, say the organization.
So where are we going to start then?
Oh, okay. Hey. Ayashisa mapachi. Thank you very much for the question. I would like to trap this question with soft and gentle hands. By the way, as I'm presenting PASMA, and I've told that PASMA is Pan-African Student Movement of Azania. Therefore, we as PASMA, we believe in Africanism. We believe in humanity. When someone faces a challenge, we do feel that challenge. We wear his or her shoes so that we can truly feel what he or she is feeling. Therefore, as a candidate for the Student Representative Council at the University of Forte, I stand before you with a commitment to represent each and every one voice on our campus and institution. Our university is a diverse university background. Therefore, we as PASMA, we encourage the unity among the students and going to the vision of the vision of the organization, things that we want to resolve or things that we want to be, things that we would like to be changed. For example, convocation. Postgraduates, you cannot run away from the fact that they are suffering a lot in this institution. I don't want to say they are treated as unhuman beings. So at least if the postgraduates can be granted bursaries, not just only NRF, because NRF is limited. numerous bursaries that can help postgraduates. And also there are students that are unfunded students that are suffering. Some of them, they even quit the school. Some of them, they went to their home because they do not have enough funds to take care of themselves. And we as the organization, we also want to emphasize the issue of the fee waivers. The fee waivers makes the students, fee waivers encourages the students to start more, and so that other students can be inspired. And each and every grade 12 learner can come to can register to University of Forte, so that due to the fee waivers, because they want those fee waivers. Yeah, but that thing actually it's a motivation of the students to pursue their studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, PASMA.
The only YBM. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Asonele Makwaqaza, well known as Mr. Obvious. The representative of YBM today, which is the Young, Brightest, Motivated Minds. It is a society that has been there for some years, but it has never contested for SRC elections. But this year it came as a non-political society that is also contesting towards the student governance. The reason why we came with it, we chose this strategy. We found out that there's a gap between student governance and the students alone, and then we wanted to close that gap by revealing the fact that student governance need leaders. It doesn't necessarily need politics, it needs leaders. So we identified some credible and operational leaders, people who are task orientated, together with those who are political affiliated, that they must be under one banner and go conduct to the SRC elections. And this is a society that believes in the power of community, communication, collaboration, and inclusivity. We believe in shared visions. How? Because we are leaders that have we have no information. The information is asymmetric about our backgrounds, political backgrounds and stuff. So we are under one banner to change the student governance and to change the community of Forte to a better, and we believe in innovation, we believe in development. That's our main vision, the innovation and development, more than the obvious issues of the students, because the real need of a student in the higher institution is to grow, is to be empowered, is to be valued, and is to be heard. So more than the obvious issues of financial issues and stuff, this society is there to bring now the development and change and innovation. Thank you so much.
Oh, Kushash.
Okay. Thank you so much to the program director. Otherwise, this is EFFSC. It's Economic Freedom Fighters Students Command, which was recently established here in the University of Forte in 2018, and it started leading last year, which is in our SRC elections. By the way, one of our aims as a student command is to ensure that we promote academic excellency and also a healthy environment for all, which is our communities at large. We don't only mainly focus within the university, but we understand other universities or campuses. There are also wards. So there are also community issues within those universities. So apart from that, we also believe that when organizations that young people have been looking for, based on the past, we understand that most of those organizations that you see around me, just like SASCO and Abom Africa, they've been existing for quite a very long time, but we haven't seen a lot of change. But ever since the student command has came, we have seen a lot of change. As a result, we best believe that we'll continue to see the change as we are empowered. Thank you.
Thank you, EFFSC. SASCO?
No, thank you very much. As I said, I am Xolisa Makubalo, the Secretary of SASCO in Alice. SASCO stands for South African Students Congress Association or Organization, right? So it's an organization that was formed in 1991. It recently turned 33 now in September. Now, the colleagues mentioned quite a few. I'm just going to go bit on the parts of what of our manifesto is. So one of the things that SASCO is proposing, it's to have, because YBMM talks about development, right? So one of the things that we're going to advocate for, there's no reason why a library should not operate 24 hours. There's no reason, right? And yet we are an institution of higher learning. And I don't understand this thing of capacity and all those things. We have a library in information science, Forte. Why can't we take masters and go and work there? And then they get paid by the university stipend. That's growth. That's development, right? There's no reason why Great Hall is not operating for 24 hours. Yet we have university that gives laptops to students as surplus. So meaning when students do not have laptops, they run Great Hall. But if Great Hall closes at 10, but go security, there's no reason why that should not happen, right? And then the third one, why is the clinic not operating 24 hours? There's no reason, right? And we're an institution. So we're saying these are some of the things that SASCO is going to advocate for once they go into power. We have nursing students, fortunately. Why can't they go and work there and then you 24 hours? That's growth, that's development. And then in terms of postgrad, if I'm sitting here, and I'm a finalist student, and I'm hearing no plans for postgrad from any of the representatives, I will get worried, because that's one of the most challenges. So one of the things we're going to introduce is the postgrad funding policy. How are we going to fund? Who are we going to go to? There are people at Forte that are benefiting. What are they bringing in return to make sure that the students are funded? Specifically postgrads. Yeah, so that's the shortest of the things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I think now it's clear why PASMA ingantoni, SASCO ingantoni, EFF, and the BMW. So, as the ghost lady came in, there's turning this anonymous, because as I always say, but you won't see the face, but you're definitely going to hear the voice.
Yeah.
So, Sikupe link to students,
Yes.
which we knew nothing about. So, we are going to ask you the question from students anonymously. I think this one would be suitable for asthma, because you mentioned something about fee waivers. But if ever you feel like Mifunu is taking this and answer that, you can chip in.
Yeah.
This question says, what do you intend to do in the issue of fee waivers? Do you believe students should be compensated for the academic achievements, and how? The question is, what do you intend to do in the issue of fee waivers? Do you believe students should be compensated for the academic achievements, and how?
Oh, thank you very much for the question. Yes, I do believe that students should be compensated for the academical journey. On the reason that in order students to be motivated and inspired so that they can pursue their academical journey, that thing of waivers is motivating students. Even the students that are doing grade 12, when they hear that in University of Forte, there is the money that is going, that is paid for those students that are passing, that have the average of minimum average of waivers. They do got if waivers. So that thing itself, it's a motivation of students. And going back to the institution is suppressing the students. Hence, we as PASMA, we want to liberate students from the suppression from the university, because students it's so very long time whereby students are not getting their waivers. To such extent, some of the students they are not performing very well. Before, during the time whereby there was waivers, students were performing very, very, very well. Therefore, at least if students can be at least, it's not a payment, but that waivers, it's a motivation. Therefore, we as I'm not a comrade, I'm just a liberator. each and every member of PASMA, it's a liberator. We want to liberate students from their crisis that they are facing. Thank you very much.
Can I chip in, please? Yes. I have a problem with the word fee waiver. Waiver means to reduce an amount, whether it's fully or partially, right? So what is SASCO then going to do? It must be changed to academic performance incentive. Because in the vocabulary, we are dealing with Obo professor there, right? People who are educated. When you say fee waiver, they would say, okay, these guys, hence now university is saying if waivers must reduce amatyala. They are taking from that vocabulary. So we must change it to academic performance incentive. Then that way, they know that if ever we are passer, you are then able to get what is due to you, because it's an incentive that you are getting for performing. Yeah, I just wanted to chip in on that one.
So my question on that before we Kubekek is that go online, it's written APIs, right? So what is their case being good now? I need to go to the waivers, meaning about young pieces so long. So what is their case against the fact that go online is written by the academic APIs?
Go online is written.
The APIs, it's written in APIs, yes.
Yeah, so you see, those are administrative problems. Because when you argue something, you must be able to then look at the administrative process of it. So if ever it's written as an academic performance there, but why when you go to the boardroom are you saying it's a fee waiver? You must be able to use the same thing. It's even advantageous if it's on ITS, because you're able to say to management, but on ITS it's written this. It could be that management doesn't know, but it's written on ITS like that. But if you boardroom, we want few waivers, then the vocabulary has to change, even from the leaders that are going to come through. Whether it's SASCO, YBM, they need to change that. And there's need, again, to come up with policies. You can't, the reason why Forte every year it's struggling, there's a lack of policies. If waivers were a policy, it binds management to act on that, because it's law. Once it's not a policy, it becomes a problem. Hence, now we're going back and forth. So those are the things that are going to advocate single SASCO. Thank you.
Can I? Okay. Sorry, as a leader, okay, you cannot be captured, but I'm partially captured by the later speaker on the sense that if waivers, sometimes they are written API, because in other institutions, it's how they call them. Yeah, so probably the administrators, it's their issue, which is they need to sort it out. But what I wanted to highlight is that those few waivers, they are more like a motivation, just like our later speakers have said. So there's no amount of energy or suppression that will make Ndiobana students ask for money for waivers. Because at the end of the day, motivation land. Imagine yourself getting a few waivers from first year, and then when you are at the third year level, you are being told you can no longer get a few waivers. That is why we want the new SRC that will enter should again re-amend that prospectus that was saying if waivers should go to students, not reduce students' debt. So this thing of saying my rate, you say student debts, yet people have funding. And what about people who don't use NSFAS? Yabo, there are people who also rely on that money. Yabo, if 500 ngenyanga, and now unalandoba, this is second semester, I'm going to get my own waivers. I can be able to buy myself clothes, food, and everything. Yabo, so I feel like somehow lendonga biko waivers, it's disadvantageous to his students. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I think, what you just said, because I think now we just need to amend the prospectus, and that APIs and that online should be changed, because the way it's called fee waivers, and the way it is treated is fee waivers, right? And you can't say you will take the fee waiver money and then you pay the debt of the students, right? Because that money is for your academic performance, your academic excellence. So it can be a motivation if it's going to be taken and it's going to pay your debt. You have your funding, maybe your NSFAS, even if you are an unfunded student. You cannot be discouraged if you will get that money straight to your bank, because it's a motivation that now I've worked hard And now this is my motivation that I should also work hard for further steps. And there must be a policy that it must apply to all students, because in the institution, even if you are a postgrad or undergrad or a first year, at the end of the day, you are a student here. So even to the first years, that money must apply. So that is what we were planning as the YBM, that there must be a policy that this money must apply from the first student until to the final or to the postgraduate students, so that everyone feels valued, everyone feels that now together, yes, we are in excellence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lombuzo, I think director YBM, because to the upcoming new organizations, societies that are contesting for the first thing.
Yes.
So I believe is. The question is, what projects are they planning to permanently address and answer the question of unfunded students?
All right, thank you so much. Yes, that one is directed straight to the YPM. The project we're actually planning, first of all, we had a concern and a complaint about the SRC. The SRC now is only dependent on few bursaries or on few funding or on one funding, which is the Mutsepe. They should not focus on that funding. Those guys should be strategic and creative enough to attract the sponsors even outside the institution, to attract the sponsors, to make sure that they have platforms and initiatives that they host as a form of a fundraising for the unfunded students. And for the unfunded, especially, let me say postgrads specifically, because the majority is the postgrads. The unfunded students, there must be a 1 meal. There's something that we want to introduce, which is called a 1 meal per day. But because we know that some things are not just a 1 day to go thing, they take time. Definitely, it's gonna start as a 1 week a day. But definitely, we're gonna apply an initiative that there must be at least 1 meal per day, to make sure that each and every student ulala ekile that day. And we are sure that it's gonna work, because it will only take us the commitment and our strategies and innovation on how are we approaching the sponsors, how are we hosting the programs, which will form as the fundraising or the fundraisers of that policy. So there's what we call 1 meal per day, and I think it has already introduced in some institutions, but it's a pity I forgot. But we really needed it, Forte, because there's a lot of unfunded students and we are struggling, and these students need to be taken care of. This thing needs to be taken into consideration. Yes.
Can I chip in?
Yes.
Yeah. No, because it's a platform to discuss, engage. Yeah, no, for me, I had this thing of 1 meal per day, and I don't think it's feasible on this regard, because when you are going to cook, it means you need people, yeah, and people mostly are students. No one is going to want to cook on a daily basis for free. That's point number one, yeah, and no one eats once a day. And I understand abantu abangena appetite indalo. I don't understand those people. But no one eats once per day. What we should be looking at, specifically for unfunded students, guys, we have people here that are benefiting from it. We have 3 ATMs, ABS, Standard Bank, Netbank. What are they doing for the university? Because they are benefiting. Every time we withdraw money there, they are getting something. So we have a GBV office that is focused on transformation. What stops each GBV office from catering for unfunded students? Because they have a budget. And if ever they are claiming to talk about the transformation, those are some of the things that they have to do. Part of the things we suggested, we manifest as SASCO, there's need to establish an SRC trust fund. What he's talking about. So every year at Forte, we're going to have a problem with registration. Mostly it's postgrads. What is going to be the plan of an organization to solve that problem? Because that's the problem that we're currently faced with. Unfunded students. What is the plan going forward? Right? So if you establish a trust fund, that is going to consist of internal and external stakeholders. Then you are able to bridge that gap and not rely on one source of funding. So I just wanted to say that aspect, that 1 meal a day, I don't see it working personally. I would suggest for food parcels rather than giving people food on a daily basis. That's what I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. For me, we already applied that as an organization, student can artist. We usually cook around Fridays because we have Alright Friday where we cook and call unfunded student, and we even call it the very same name, a meal once a day. You know why? We understand why an organization, a very small organization, but at the very same time, we understand the fact that there's a lot of students out there who sleep with a hungry stomach, without eating and all that. And to say, let's wait for food parcel that we don't even know when shall arrive, then it's another crisis. Because a lot of students, especially on second semester, they would drop out. So that's when we said, no, how about we does this? Because somehow it can work. And it's like we understand as an organization at school, you do get funding from student affairs, even though it's not enough, but the little that we have, at least so I would like to agree partially with EYBM to say iyasebenza lando in as much as ingasebenzi with full force, because at the end of the day everyone, or probably that certain number that came to that day or to that Friday, and Bonaba appreciate, I don't want to lie, one thing about student, when it comes to food, so zibanga go appreciate. And obvious, if ungaqhubeleka kufuna sponsors out there, umzekelo ayizuthi icaba kuzophekwa kayi-1. The moment sponsors ship in, it means that izokuyeka laa nto uba ibe into once a day, probably even kubekho breakfast and all that. Even during exam, laa nto yobana kubekho exam breakfast. When you enter examination room, you can just grab a cup of tea, kunye nescone sakho, ungene utye ube home, because kuyabanda ke sport complex asizibalekela. So these are kind of initiatives that we want, and in order for them to be practical, we need to start exercising them ngoku sisenale budget incinci. Because if uzothi uzolinda uhambe uye kwi-sponsor and say, hey, we have unfunded students here, come and sponsor us, i-sponsor zokuxelela uba chief, show us practicality. Have you done this before? No. So that is why it's in a organization. As a result, sometimes we would get help from those town up around, or my friend Ibasnike or Ivon or Spa. But they do donate, I don't wanna lie. As a result, that's why so it's practicable. Abantu ba kujonge kuhlalwe phansi kusetyenzwe into eyi-1. Imagine if we were to say SASCO nayo iyapheka ngolezine, iyapheka iPASMA ngolezithathu, iyapheka iBMW ngeTuesday, iyabona uba students ngahlutha. So yeah.
Yes, thank you. I think let me make you believe in this, right? Because when you are helping someone, or when you are helping people, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will accommodate the 100%, but the importance is the difference. What is important is the difference that you are making. And remember that when you are doing something, you do it from the start, and step by step, it will grow. Remember, I mentioned this thing of the SRC Trust Fund, the strategies that we will use, the strategies that must be used by the SRC. How do we approach the sponsors outside? How do we go to twins and tell twins that twins, you are nothing without Forte students? Remember that. So each and every fortnight, you should be giving us at least 8 bags or 10 kgs of rice. Then if you agree on that, we go to Spa, or maybe we go to Avon. We say, Avon, you know that 70% of your customers are the students. We say that only when they do not agree with our proposal. We just remind them that no, but at the end of the day, you should be working with us. You should be supporting the ones that are not benefiting in terms of ubabahlute, right? Then that will definitely make a difference. That meal a day, a student that is really hungry, a student that knows that I don't have anything to eat, will appreciate that meal and will know that at least I can work a day, I can do my stuff, because I know maybe at 2, I will go there, maybe at Old Student Center, I receive my meal at least per day. You see? So the most important thing in this is that how do we approach as the candidates of the SRC, how do we sit down and brainstorm, how do we approach people from the outside? As you have already mentioned, we have FNP, we have a lot of people. We just need to be strategic. How do we approach them? How do we remind them that we are theirs, they are ours? And then we work forward on making this thing happen. Yes, that's a difference.
PASMA, what's your intake on this 1 million?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I just want to intervene to this crisis of unfunded students. In my way of thinking, I think this thing of unfunded student must somehow handled by the institution. Reason being, when the SRC handled this crisis of unfunded students, somehow they used to politicize things. For example, in this institution, kwaqhelwa food parcels. But as a food parcels, man say 1 kg of rice, 2 kg, 2.5 of maize meal, 500 grams of fish oil. La food parcel ayinogqiba even a week. Umntana kanogqiba even iveki esitya la nantsika amaqanda ay6 uyabona amaqanda ay6 iSuper K1 Super K1 mosozimane yohlulahlula umlenze intontoni uyabona. So lanto lena, at least if institution can make sure that each and every month uyabona inika students a proper food parcels uyabona, 10 kgs 12 kgs, all those students that are unfunded, I think it will be better so that students zinga quit uyabona, because even nakwirezi zethu kubona mhlawumbe uthi uyapheka my leader fanele kuba mhlawumbe kuphela inyanga ne kurholiwa kunemali bona abanye abantwana banayo umzekelo indlela abapheka ngayo ndenza umzekelo ukuthi unovelwana lalo mntana uyabona. To such extent they say but no, when you need something please don't mind yerumini so that I can at least give you lonto namdinayo na ufane nabanye abantu ukwazi upheka yabo. I think lento funeka masize. I think this is the only best approach esinoyiza ngayo lento ye unfunded students. But at the very same time ESRC nayo ibe kwi forefront to make sure that these promises are happening. Thank you very much.
Sorry, no, let me no, I this thing of 1 meal a day, yeah, I understand. Yeah, one of our SASCO, we were doing food drive, yeah, 2021, and we used to cook maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. My worry with one meal a day is the sustainability. How do you sustain that? Because if you're going to cook once a day, it's are you cooking from Monday to Sunday? So we're talking of more than 200 days that you have to cook. I'm worried about the sustainability. I can understand from an organization point of view, but they are doing it every Friday. It's understandable, yeah. But if you're going to do it once a day, it means it's from Monday to Sunday. How practical is that? Who is going to want to cook for that 7-day period? That's my worry in terms of sustainability. And the issue of food parcels, we must be honest. There's nothing wrong with food parcels. The problem is the SRC. That's the problem. We have abantwana that do not have food parcels. It's the exact same SRC. Now, bengola 40 page abantwana demanding food parcels because they know, but those are the people that are supposed to be giving us this. Because they've got a budget allocated for them. So if you come into office and you know, but we have a list of unfunded students, as I'm saying, but there is a GPV office. Why is it not assisting the SRC? Now this first division, right? Come together, identify abafundi, give them food parcels. We just gave about 50 students food parcels, right? We gave them 10 kgs, 5 liter oil. So for someone who's cooking alone, 10 kg rice, it can last you 2 months, 3. Yeah. So, and then we ask about the basics that you have to do. So my concern with 1 meal a day is, how is it going to be sustainable? Are you doing it from Monday to Sunday or weekdays? If weekdays, what about the weekends? Are you then saying in weekends people must see for themselves? Then, if nipeka from Monday to Friday in weekends and pay, it has got no value. Because I'm good ngabantwana bazawutya Monday to Friday, umqwene xa mabazibonele. There's no value in that. But if you give umntana a food parcel, uzawubona makapheke ntoni yena. So I'm trying to understand the sustainability part on you guys on one. I understand the EFF, not we used to do that. But in terms of you, how are you going to structure that as a new company?
Thank you so much.
I think this is what
Okay. Yeah.
Let's run away from that. But again, we're going to back to what is the ends up. EFFSC. So now that you guys were the majority in the current SRC, why should students vote for you again?
Okay. First of all, Tina were the majority in the SRC. We have the academic officer, we have the residence officer, we have the premier, we have the secretary, even the I institution SE, no treasurer general. First, let me go with the academic side. If you could notice this year, a lot of students as compared to previous years, when it comes to registration, managed to register. And it was through academic officer. Secondly, we launched recently a campaign where we called financial or academic exclusion campaign, but we also shift in financial exclusion. But in the Balikle, it was all about academic exclusion, where we educated students about exclusion. Because we noticed that a lot of students, they don't get excluded just because they know. It's because they don't know how it works. And even to say excluded, don't know where to go, what to do, and what next. So we said, no, let's just sit student, make sure we educate them about this and all that, so that in the next coming year, we wouldn't see you usiza kutulilo say, hey, I'm excluded because of this and that. Yeah, well? And another thing, in previous years, we used to face a lot of challenges when it comes to timetable issues, where you see people saying, hey, yeah, clash timetable, yam chief, kutwa mandibhale ngo2, yethi ngo3 ndizobe ndisesephepheni, you know. So through our academic officer, we make sure that no clashes, because we understand the students are frustrated. And I can tell you, siyaxoxa student esithi sibhale kathathu ngoJune kwezi exam ngemini. That was never accepted. We made sure at least twice, it can be in the morning and afternoon session, but not having a clash okanye 3 a day. And again, coming to residence part, guys, I don't want to lie. One thing about Forte when it comes to infrastructure building, iyaleka. Uyeke ne-res, even auditoriums, go to the auditoriums, ujonge apho sa-attenda khona, lecture halls, it's so fucked up. I don't want to lie, sorry to use that name, but it's very bad. To a point that when we entered office, because it was our first time, though, to lead the institution because we were the majority, but we made sure that some of the minor things, students should get it. So when the students are receiving beds, especially students from disability unit. Bebelaliswa kwibhedi zensimbi. Tell me, umuntu disabled, bomlalisa njani kwibhedi yensimbi ephakamileyo. This person maybe is even short. Akakwazi nokhwela kule bhedi, ukuze akhwele kule bhedi ufuneka asebenzise something. So we made sure firstly we cater for them bafumane comfort beds. Not only just bed, even sponge, because besivele sixa sifika student kuthiwa sisponge esalala kuso kodwa sihombokile ungafihla ne-wallet okwakho. Or what, but we made sure each and every student get his bunches. Not mentioning izindlu besihlala kuzo bezimdakana ngaphandle, we made sure must vanish buildings alapha esikolweni. I understand ezinye sezibuka uphatha ngoku, but you can see bezvanishiwe. There is a storm that happened last year where buildings zethu zavuza zabetheka. Kodwa lonto zange ilungiswe the entire year. But when we entered office, we made sure ezazindlu zivuzayo mazilungiswe. But we understand some of other people who say, hi, but guys, this is not what we want. We want izinto eziright, washing machine, we want TVs and all that. But our main focus as EFFSC, especially to our deployees, we mandated them very clear. We said, you cannot run ngezinto that are minority. Let's check izinto ezizi-majors and also ezizoba i-majority to all students. Umzekelo, if I were to say masifake i-washing machines, mhlawumbe zizofakwa e-SV and the next thing iphelele emoyeni. What about umzali? Yabo? What about umuntu onengxaki nefestile ungxamela umnike washing machine? So let's focus ekushifteni ezi zinto zincinci. We understand uba besiqala uleader but little but surely. Coming to ezinye izinto apha. We understand as new students, but they are complaining about, we don't do it and everything. Here, when we started, we had Easter prayer, it was the first kind to happen, which is in April. We had Easter prayer, we had exam prayer, and even now, recently, Besine Beshipa, hosted by the ISRC, Treasurer General made sure that the student must have e-bash. We are even having a Mr. Forte and Mrs. Forte that is upcoming, hosted by the ISRC. So we understand as a new student or student comes so feeling that but we are trying by all means to ensure that they are fikeleleka student as much as possible. We are like in food parcel, the proposal has been made. It's a pity that it's confidential, being not in bonuses and using these are the emails and everything. But SRC members will tell you. All of them, if they are not telling you the truth, they have made a proposal, and I can guarantee you are pushing food parcels. Thank you.
It's confidential. Yeah, I think it's a series of but before I say bye, I would like to give you guys a chance to interact. Can you mhlawumbe lento ofuna uyiqonda ufuna ubuza u-BMW why uthatha abantu bam ndika nje a few up to my director, give you 6 minutes. Yeah, my director wanted 6 minutes to engage.
Yeah, no, thanks. I wanted to engage. I'm interested in the BMW. I want to ask Mhlobam. BMW is characterized by former political leaders of EFFSC nabanye ke bakwa SASCO that decided just because into ezingaba ngakahle embuthweni they must jump ship. How I see it for the page, what is happening, it's a battle of power between EFFSC and YBM. That's how I see it, because these people that are busy going BMW Kusheshe are coming from Eastern Command. But now, because of the problems that happened there, they now shifted. So my question is, how do you convince students that this YBM is different, whereas it's led by former leaders of political organizations? Because I'm hearing you are saying you are non-political, and yet you've got political people in that society. So if it was strictly for Abafundi, it means that would have taken people that have never been involved in politics, like yourself. So can you just give me clarity on that? But how is it non-political, and yet you've got former EFFSC leaders that are busy and pushing this thing?
All right, thank you so much. It's a pity you've never been there when we preach our idea. We always make sure we emphasize it, because it's always a question that comes first. But how come you say it's a non-political society, whereas there are plenty of former of political people from other organizations? Remember, we said this is a neutral body, right? Remember, in the student governance, we have we have positions that need political space. Let me make that. And then we have some operational offices. Those offices doesn't need a person to be a politician, doesn't need a person to be political. They just need a person who will be a leader, a person that is task orientated. So this is a collection or a combination of such leaders. Some are former members from other organizations, as you have already said. Some are former from SASCO, some are former from EFF, but they are there in the YBM. And now I like that you are mentioning, due to some reasons, they left the organizations and came to the YBM. In the YBM, although some of us have their political backgrounds and political differences, under YBM, you are a politician, right? But under YBM, you don't put politics. Because what we want to reveal through YBM is that this thing of thing that student governance is about politics is the one thing that makes leaders to prioritize their political organizations in the student governance more than prioritizing the needs of the student. So when we are there in the YBM, there's Mr. Obvious who have been here more than 5 years, who have never subscribed to any politics. There's another one, maybe like Mukets, if I can mention a few. Then there are others that are political, but when we are there, it's a fact and it's a must that we share a vision there. We will not say that now you are coming from maybe from EFF, you are coming from Dondon. We want to erase and extinguish that bad behavior and that barbaric behavior when we are in student governance, we say, maybe if I seek for assistance from you as maybe as a sport officer, and maybe I'm an entertainment officer, we say, no, you are deployed by SASCO. Go to SASCO. No, we don't want that. Under YBM, there is no political behavior. Although there are some politicians, there's no political behavior. And some of those leaders left those organizations because they saw and they noticed that in those organizations, people who represent locals there. They don't represent the needs of the students. So under YBM, we share a vision. We drive the car, it's a family car, it goes. Regardless of what organization or how much history you have about politics, but here, we consider the current status or the current situation in the community of Forte. Some of those people still maybe support EFF, maybe nationally, but they notice that in Forte, EFF is not EFF maybe for student. I'm making an example. SASCO is not SASCO for student. Maybe PASMA is not PASMA. Now let me just come to these neutral and credible leaders and let's form something. Because if you can be honest, even students are tired of what is happening here. Even the students. So YBM is here to implement something new. Something that will go forward, something that will bring change. We're not guarantee 100% change, but we have hope that this one will bring change. Thank you so much.
Can I chip in? Mine are 2 questions. The first one is going to be directed to YBMW, and then the other one, it's the rest of you guys. Ne? Okay, the first one, YBMW. Njengoba actually uxolisa majority yababantu. Kabantu, I don't want to say the political power mongers or opportunists, because everyone has a right to choose whatever they want to choose. Yabo, nam ngenyimi mhlawumbe ayishi EFF, who knows. But just to say, ukumuva kwabo from a political organization to le BMW, they're saying they're no longer political. Yet some of them, if you could check your profile pictures or their statuses, they still have something to do with their political background. Okanye bakasusa umuntu useyile usathi uba hayi ndiseyiyo member ye-EFF and ebeyiyo nyani membership isekhona, but the only thing ayitsho uba anduzikhamvasela for uvota. Don't you think about those people when they get position kule BMW yakho befika pha ku SRC will go back to their organization? Yeah. Okay, I don't want you to answer me now. Then ndize kuni ninonke. You are busy bashing out EFF on Facebook, uba EFF failed, EFF that, blah, 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 pinpointing all these things that Mhlam seems to be lacking somewhere, somehow, because we are not perfect at the end of the day. But what have you guys done throughout the year? Because we have been doing initiative besides SRC, siphekela abantwana, host sports on the ground. I mean, academic programs, sibiza abantwana, sithi senzo door to door. Now that sekuthiwa kusondele elections, senani niyafake ngonenzo door to door, kodwa beningazange nabenzo door to door. So yintoni kanye le ecaba niyenzile throughout the year that students has to follow and vote for you guys?
Thank you so much. First of all, I think your questions are plenty in one question. Where have you been? Oh, you don't listen yenzile. And also, why are you bashing EFF? Don't mistake that. There's no one that is actually bashing EFF here. We are bashing not what is not right for students. Do not shake and feel like you are being bashed. Do your thing and go forward. We'll do our thing and go forward. And apparently, currently, you are the ones that are bashing. If you can just read the current state of that Forte page, but we're not there. Now you're asking, don't we think that maybe these people from maybe EFF or SASCO, when they get power, they will get back to their organizations? I don't think it's possible. Perhaps let me say it's not possible. Because that YBM is not an organization that has upper structures. The upper structures that you have is an organization by students for students. So there, anytime, any day, students can come. Students can collect a meeting and say that person makasuke pa, because the candidates that will be under YBM, some of them or the majority of them already students know about them. Unlike voting for the logos, and the YBM is not about the logo. Now the question you are raising is a question that is being raised, and the simple mistake in this question that they are asking where have you been as YBM? They are not asking where have the YBM or the people in YBM been. I'll make an example, a practical example about myself. You have that. Where have I been? You know the contributions throughout, even not this year, you know the contributions. But now you cannot, as an individual, or maybe as under EFF, you cannot just, you will feel like you are betraying, or maybe you are taking duties or responsibilities of others. If you will say maybe you will go to that place, you do this, and then you are not aware as an organization. And the majority of these leaders left these organizations because they saw that, man, a priority upper is not about the students, it's about the organizations. So we decided that now these leaders that no, now that we have been on the ground, maybe individually or like let's be in one place. Because now, as Mr. Obvious, when I have that power in SRC, I will now be able to voice, I will be able to have the authority maybe and the potential to say, because I've been doing that, but as a person underground. So there's no way that these people, although they are political, but under YBM, we have no politics. The differences, the beefs, the dirtiness, and is placed behind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think there was a second question.
Yeah, you can go there.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And was as long as but I think we as PASMA, as I said, that we are discipline and principle. As you all here, you can see that there is no even a PASMA member going to Forte Page and howl there, because the PASMA members were not howlers. Firstly, we're not packers. We cannot pack. We're not howlers. We're disciplined. Yes. Therefore, what we want for the students, what is transpired in the institution, what are the changes that would like to see in the institution? Here in this institution, at least would like to see the eye of the sky I mean to say the sky I mean to say. I'm talking about cameras. Here, we're suffering the most. You can go to each and every res, there are cameras, but they are not working. It's easy to have a laptop apinda phone. We faced several issues of crime here in this institution.
But I think you were about to before city pressure. You are not. So when he was asking about why are you pushing EFF, not what
have you done?
Yes. So what we are proposing by Nizokoti.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Why we pushing FF, ne?
And what have you done?
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Hey, yeah, my late. Hey, no, yeah. No, as I said that we are not howlers. Even you, even a single member of PASMA howling there, just like other political immature. I can just say that. Because we as PASMA were disciplined and we are not bashing any political organization. But your question directed what we have done exactly. PASMA this year had 2 portfolios: the portfolio of treasurer, the portfolio of legal. Bear in mind, if you have a serious situation, I cannot take your serious sensitive situation and post there on the Forte page. Hence PASMA bengavelanga bengathi akavelanga yabona, because umzekelo say there's no residence bese nithatha izinto siposte ku Forte page yabona, so that izobona uPASMA iyasebenza. But there are students that were suffered yabona, that was severely suffering yabona. They were helped by the office of PASMA yabona, taking in charge, representing them yabona. Even somehow when unglegal, even let's say a colleague leyam yabona ithathe umzekelo ipen yenkokheli le ngexesha imoshileyo yabona, somehow yabona uyakwazi uyirepresent, but ubuyazi ba ihleli izotshona at the end of the day. Zezinye zezinto umzekelo kune GBV cases yabona that were reported to our office. Those GBV cases were taken and zathunyelwa ngapha kwa GBV unit yabona. So due to your question, what we have done, what we have done on whatsoever, go to Taunyan in my res. Each and everyone can attest here. Each and every mass meeting I used to talk about Taunyan, that in East Camp was suffering. East Camp were treated as if were pigs. In East Camp, as I'm speaking, there is no water in East Camp. Therefore, what the residents even PASMA went there and assist us with the march that I organized. I organized a march going to maintenance, and then the maintenance at least resolved our issue, even though it's not yet resolved now, but at least they provided us amatanki, so that's cause been a month, because sihlala namantombi phana, amantombi sometimes abakwi period basemaxesheni, so abasemaxesheni bazodinga amanzi with the assistance of PASMA yabona, amanzi akhona, amatanki akhona yabona, my leader. So in other words, uPASMA noko uzamile usebenza egroundini and taking other grievances kwezinye ilento uzana i-residences and assist umzekelo, for example izinto ze-curtains somehow East Camp, izinto zezitofu, you can go to East Camp, some of the residences zinezitofu yabona, with the assistance of Lenduzan uPASMA yabona. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Before, it's not a follow-up question, but a guidance. There's a difference between student governance and also an organization. Organizations bane budget yazo. Ecaleni zine operations yazo. Ecaleni kubekho lanto kuthiwa i-deployee. So umzekelo mna when I tabulated basenze ntoni EFFSC, I said yes ngokwe office ndayigqiba. That as an organization alone, we host programs zokutya alone, not SRC deployees. So ngicela xa nicacisa lento yenu umuntu athethe ngokwe deployees ayicacise naxa yenziwa ngumbutho, because now we have a tendency of saying uba uthatha legal issues kodwa ze reportwa ku azame i-deployee yakhe. So ucela nizame
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. Sizayigqibezela ku Facebook under Forte Space comments sizasifuna apha nobengathethi sicela zathethe. I think SASCO uzophendula and then we wrap it up.
No, thank you very much. I think no, I'm just going to be brief. No one is bashing EFFSC. Unfortunately, you are the leading organization. You have to account. Noba ungawini SASCO, noba ungawini YBM, they will account. That's the unfortunate part, because you are the ones that are leading SRC, right? So there's no, I can't control SASCO members from writing on Forte page. Unfortunately, I don't have that power. But there's not a single branch leader, yes, SASCO, that has written anything about FFC. You can go and check Forte page, right? Then in terms of what has SASCO done and why are we coming now, the reality of the matter, we do not have any strategic offices, SRC. They are mostly occupied by Nina. The only seat that has done something, it is student services. That guy that we deployed, I remember we received a lot of stick Gokuhle paying student services. But I think Kuhle has done a good job. And I think there are people that have recognized the fact that he did a good job. So it's quite unfortunate that we're coming now. We're coming now because we want to get into governance, want to make a change. As kwazi ngoku to do anything because you guys are in power. In reality, right? If you look at our seats, you look at your seats, you are the ones that are driving the SRC. So nina bantu abaza excel more than as in organizations because we've got a majority of the people. So yeah, that's my submission in terms of that information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. That is the end of today's episode. Thank you for being here with us and sharing your views and your opinions. We highly appreciate all of this. Remember to find us a Forte Space. Any comments or suggestions that the audience has, feel free to plug up the comment section, and you guys feel free to interact with the audience, seeing as they will have questions for Nina, questions for PASMA, EFFSC, EFF, and the SASCO. But all in all, thank you so much.
But before Sivali, any last words? Notinivuka, Sisi Kobe, Jay, Dinigo 1 minute, company 1 minute.
Just
to conclude.
Yeah.
Any Vuka, guys, say, fuck up on Forte Space Facebook.
Mama Chenben Kalis, enkosi kakhulu. Singipazma sithi, register one, register all, on the basis that there are some students esuka from the most marginalized families. And those students, they are facing a crisis of NSFAS. How can you go provisional, so you cannot register, go to home? How can to restrict a basic education to the student that is willing to pursue his dream to come through? So, register one, register all. That is the most thing is funba CC at least the students must go register. So, you know, notice cool. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. As the YBM, as Babe says, Chilo, that we are focusing on development and innovation. We are planning and we are striving for development for the to host or have initiatives of talent-based activities first of all, and platforms of growth and development, maybe through public speaking, through writing resumes and everything like that, and also for the artists. For the artists and for the business people, the entrepreneurs. We are planning to host such initiatives. We are planning to develop those so that students can be felt like they are valued. They can feel that they are not here just for academics, but also for their excellence and development personally. And also, what I can say is that now that there are things that there are organizations that are feeling bashed, let us try to minimize this thing of insulting each other, insulting other organizations, insulting other individuals. Let's be clean, and if you are campaigning, let's campaign clean, let's do our thing. It's only the audience that will tell. It's only the feedback from the students that we want to represent that will tell, without bashing any other. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. No, thank you very much. No, as on behalf of SASCO was saying that students must be sober-minded when they vote. Please vote using your brain rather than using your heart. We know that the organizations that you might have love, but vote for Umbuta that is going to bring development, that is going to bring growth within the institution. That's what SASCO is advocating for. So whenever you're going to cast that vote, look at what the plans are. Specifically, look at the manifestos of the different political organizations and then judge them on that. Otherwise, as SASCO was saying, we're good to go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Otherwise, there's one thing that I want to tell students before I close, is that we started from nothing to something. When we entered office, Safika Apasane office A1, people had 9 offices, but we never complained. We worked to the ground, Sasebens, look at now. We are the majority leading. We understand this news was going to just over the night, but slowly but surely. So it's up to you, student, whether you want to go back to where we were or you want to improve. And in order for you to improve, I'll tell you, EFFSC,
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for today. Once again, I am Andy, your host, but you can call me Andy for free. Our most ghost lady. You won't see her, but you will definitely hear her voice haunting you in your dreams. Thank you so much, guests, for participating in today's episode. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best on the upcoming elections. May the best organization win. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, kuyaphileka nayo. Nathi sayithatha.
Uthi makuthathe le nto. Laa nto ye-BMW madoda. Take your pillar.